What is it about Yom Kippur that is so powerful, so compelling, that gets us all through the door, regardless of our level of observance? At other times of the year, you will hear people say things along the lines of, I'm not that observant, so I don't really participate in this part of the Jewish experience. But when it comes to Yom Kippur, it is almost universal. The amount of people in shul is way greater than any other day on the calendar. And the amount of people who do not attend shul, but still ensure that they fast, must place it far beyond any other Jewish observance. Why? What does Yom Kippur have that no other holiday offers? What is the X factor of Yom Kippur? So that's what we'll unpack, starting with a debate in the Talmud about how Yom Kippur works. Because, let's be honest, there are people who attend shul on Yom Kippur, but they're not familiar with the service, they're not familiar with the Hebrew, and they battle to follow along. Sometimes they don't participate at all in the service. They just sit there out of a sense of duty. Does that help? Is that good enough? Or what about the person who does not attend shul, but they fast, because that's their way of showing their participation and their dedication to God? Does that help? Or do we have to do something in order for Yom Kippur to work? So this is the debate in the Talmud. According to the sages, teshuvah is the key to Yom Kippur. In other words, if a person arrives on Yom Kippur but doesn't participate, doesn't read the Al-Chay, doesn't hit their chest, doesn't have a sense of remorse, doesn't want to improve their lives, well then Yom Kippur is effectively a moot point. Like, well, what are we doing this for? Just for show? But there's another opinion, that of Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, who at that time was the greatest Jewish spiritual leader, and he says, Itzumoy shel Yom Mechaper. Just the very fact that it is Yom Kippur, it is such a powerful day, it is such an intense day, that just the day itself already atones. And it sounds as if he's suggesting that Yom Kippur is able to sort us out even if we don't sort ourselves out. Now, at first glance, it seems like that's a major difference of opinion between the rabbis and Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, because the rabbis seem to imply that you get no value out of Yom Kippur until you invest some effort into Yom Kippur. And maybe for some people, attending shul is already a lot of effort because it's so far out of their comfort zone. Or people who are fasting, if they're not observant, if they're not connected, maybe that is a tremendous investment. Maybe that's good enough. But the sages specifically use the term teshuvah, which implies that there has to be a consciousness and there has to be some kind of a move away from toxic behaviors and some kind of an undertaking to improve ourselves, not just to arrive. So it sounds like they're insisting you need a tremendous amount of input in order to get the value out of Yom Kippur, because at the end of the day, there's nothing for nothing, and Judaism does not believe in spiritual free downloads. On the other hand, you have Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, who seems to have a polar opposite opinion and says, well, the day is such an incredible day, it's such a powerful day, it sounds like it magically cleanses us even if we have not done teshuvah. One axiom about Jewish debates, or at least Talmudic debates, is while the opinions may sound radically opposed, they are never that much at loggerheads that they see the world completely differently. If there are two views in the Talmud, what they're giving us is two different perspectives, but usually on the exact same theme. So Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi opens our eyes to the theme. The theme is that Yom Kippur is different to any other day of the year. Of course, a person can change their life whenever they choose. And any day of the year is a day which is ripe for teshuvah. And particularly at this time of the year, because there's the month of Elul, which is very powerful. There's Rosh Hashanah, which is a day that can completely shift us. There are the days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, which are considered special days of teshuvah, and times where Hashem is more accessible than any other time of the year. So Yom Kippur is not a standalone as a day when we can change ourselves. Yet, Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi illustrates there's something about how Yom Kippur facilitates that shift, how Yom Kippur empowers us to change ourselves, that is uniquely different to every other day of the year. The rabbis say that's true. We agree with that. But they believe in order to access the magic, you actually have to put in the effort. So our question is going to be, what is the X factor of Yom Kippur? What is it that makes it this day that itzumoy shel Yom Mechaper, that the essence of the day is so powerful that it can atone pretty much everything? And there's even an implication that means with doing a lot less than any other day of the year. What is the secret of Yom Kippur?